Hey, good morning, everybody. This time we are in Huntsville at the home office. We are ready to head to Dallas in a few minutes for the other art fair, and we decided to do our live show from home. How are you doing, John?
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's very exciting that we're off to Dallas. It's we're packing like we're going to be gone for a month. It's only 4 days, but
I think I don't know what happened with this world. My whole bag is not full of clothing, but it's full of cables
and equipment.
Technology. Why these many cables? You answered it.
Well, mine, in addition to all the technology, is all the kind of things to make me dress up a little more than I'm used to. So I want to look nice for the show. So that takes work.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, here we are with a new edition of Art Chat with John and Bogdan. And we have exciting new things to show you today. And before we starting the show, I think Johnny wants to do some housekeeping.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. If you're watching us, my guess is you're watching us on Facebook Live. Welcome. If you want us to know that you're here, leave a comment so that we can see who's logged in. Right now it says there are 2 people, but we don't know who you are. If you'd like to remain anonymous, that's fine too. But just to let you know again that we are broadcasting on Zoom so that we can be in 2 places at once. And that means that there's a bit of a delay between what we say and what we see on Instagram Live, on Facebook Live. So don't be discouraged if you're waiting for us to respond to you. It's because it hasn't shown up yet. So do realize there is that delay. Everything that you see here today is for sale. What we do is we do this program so that we can promote the work that we are actually producing and selling. We're not going to tease you with things we've already sold. And just so that you get an idea of our art practice as well as our art business that we talk about in lots of other channels. So the time to buy something is when you fall in love. So if you fall in love with a piece, don't worry, we can get it to you wherever you are in the world.
Fabulous. So guys, let's start the show. I'm going to switch back here to the presentation. And I want to share with you the first pieces we prepared for you today. And one is mine here on the left. It's called Downtown. And yours is called Yonder.
Yonder.
Yeah, Yonder. So let's talk about mine first. Guys, you probably have seen this before, especially if you have visited my studio in Silver Sea Studios. You might have seen this piece. It's actually photography. It's not painting. It's like a painting, but it's pure long exposure photography, and it's a beautiful piece. It's a very modern, contemporary, dreamy in a way, but yet with a lot of movement. And
Bogdan,
yes.
Can you focus it? It's a bit blurry.
It's good here, but I don't. Maybe the connection is bad.
No, I was making fun. The picture is purposefully blurry.
Okay, so. It's in purpose blurry, yes. And I painted with a live camera, which means I go downtown, I pick up a moment of the day where it's not too bright and not too dark, and I'm start playing with the camera in long exposure. So I do it, I overdo it until I get the final result. Anyway, So this is a piece that has recently sold, but there's 20 in this edition. And the piece I had in the studio was 24 by 24, but yet this one can be printed up to 36 by 36 inch. And what a statement this is in a modern home. Even in an office would be great. It's a lot of motion, it's a lot of colors. It's very pleasant to the eyes, and yet there is a story behind it. It's the In Motion series. It's that story where, as an immigrant, everything is beautiful and everything is shiny and everything is glorious, and yet you can't connect with anything. And I took this idea and I talked with myself and I said, how can I combine these feelings with a photographic series. So this is how this collection was born.
And when you look, Bogdan, it's so much of your artwork is architectural, and you really zero in on the details and the finer aspects of buildings. And here, there's nothing concrete. And I thought it was fascinating when you expressed that as a recent arrival here in Houston, that you didn't really know your place. You didn't know where you fit in, and that was showing up in your artwork. I thought that was amazing. And it's got such an urban vibe. It's downtown Houston. It could be anywhere. But the point is that you really weren't able to grab onto anything. And so everything was blurred. I thought that was amazing how that developed.
And yet it's our daily life, if you ask me, because this is how we spend our time, basically running and doing businesses and meeting people and focusing on a lot of things. And it's a lot of information going on around us. And yet you cannot focus on anything.
Right. And who knew that there was this much color downtown Houston? It just seems gray and cold, and yet there's light and color and movement all around you.
Yeah, and I mean, this reflection from a skyscraper to another, from an old building to a skyscraper, and those windows, creates a lot of detail, a lot of colors, a lot of, texture.
I think they're stunning.
So guys, if you want to see more of this, come and visit my website, bogdanphotoart.com, or if you're in Houston, come and see my studio. We will be moving to a new studio in Silver City Studios, and that will be 314. So 111 studio will be a part of our history.
Yes.
You want to move over to your piece?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Yonder. Yonder is a piece that actually has been worked and reworked a number of times. I was trying to create, I really enjoy abstract landscapes. And so the idea of creating a horizon, but I love working with texture and color. So actually underneath these layers of gold, there's many colors. It's like a spring garden. And I created the textured, colored landscape. And then I covered it with this kind of two tones of gold, creating the horizon. And then I took sandpaper and started to try and reveal some of the colors below. So it's got a lot of work into it for something that looks very, very simple and looks like two colors. It's actually a lot more going on there.
I love that simplicity.
I do love the idea of a landscape, particularly a horizon, and how you can do that in an abstract way and still have a really kind of meaningful experience. It suggests a landscape, it suggests a horizon. And so that could be looking out across a field, could be looking out across water, anything you like, another planet, anything that your imagination can take you to.
It's great, the simplicity of it. It's lovely, and I can see pieces like this in a larger format as well.
Yeah. I did this as a 20 by 16, so it's not a large piece. It is framed, looks better framed, and I think I will start to work more on some landscapes, abstract landscapes. I find them very, very rewarding. Whenever I try and go too representative, too literal, too realistic, I'm not satisfied. So I did find this one very, very rewarding. I have another one that is basically the same concept, but I haven't finished it yet. It's a series of trees with roots on a landscape.
I'm glad you mentioned that method of using abrasives to polish the painting, because I tried recently on some of mine, and the result was magnificent. And actually, I tried mine on paper, and what happened is it almost looked like a watercolor once the dust mixed up. It was a very interesting experiment.
Yeah, and I think that the idea of creating by withdrawing, by removing, is a very fascinating concept to me as well. So I like to